Hello and welcome. Today we're diving into a question that really gets to the heart of how we connect with each other. Are we, as a society, actually becoming less empathetic? We're going to explore a really powerful story that suggests a major shift is happening between generations and what that could mean for every single one of us. Okay, so let's jump right in with this idea from our source that I think you'll find fascinating. Just think about it like this. Older generations often talk about a kind of childhood freedom, right? Running around, clapping with pure joy. It was all uncalculated. But today, it feels like we're so much more self-aware, almost measuring our every step, every reaction. Is this a sign that something deeper is changing? And this leads to a pretty powerful idea, a trade-off, really. The source suggests that even though a previous generation might have had less stuff, their lives were rich in something you just can't buy, an environment that was just overflowing with empathy, affection, and compassion. And that, right there, is the core question we're looking at today. In our world of constant abundance, where we can have almost anything we want with the click of a button, are we accidentally pushing away our ability to be tender with one another? Let's explore this through a story that really brings this whole dilemma to life. So, this is the story of a man named Moin Chowdhury. It's about a memory of his mother that, honestly, it reveals such a profound lesson in what love and sacrifice really mean. So, in a piece he wrote back in 2018, Moin remembers what seemed like a totally ordinary day. He's a student, he comes home from the city to his village, his mother just tells him to go clean up and get something to eat. It's a moment that felt so simple at the time, but it would completely change how he understood love. Okay, so picture this scene. There's no big drama here, just this quiet act of presence. His mother, who's already bathed, just comes and sits with him while he eats. It's just a simple, peaceful picture of a mother caring for her son. So naturally, Moin invites her to eat with him. Seems like a totally normal question, right? But her answer is the very first clue that there's a lot more going on in this moment than you might think. I'll eat later. How many of us have heard that? It's that simple, selfless reply, a mother putting her child first. But as Moin was about to find out, there was so much more weight behind those three little words. And here it is. This is the turning point of the whole story. Maybe he was curious, maybe he just had a gut feeling. But Moin does something that reveals everything. He lifts the lid of the rice pot. Absolutely nothing. The pot was completely empty, and in that one silent, stunning moment, he gets it. There was no food for her to eat later. The plate of food right in front of him, that was the last portion of rice in the entire house. And this is what's just so incredible. All these years later, as a grown man, just writing down the memory of his mother's quiet sacrifice is still so powerful that it brings him to tears. That's the kind of impact a single, selfless act of love can have. It lasts a lifetime. Wow. So what do we take away from a story that moving? It's about way more than just a mother's love. It's a perfect example of what our source calls the very melody of a relationship. And our source has this really beautiful way of defining it. See, empathy isn't just one single thing. It's this whole collection of feelings: compassion, love, care, respect, and they all come together to play the same beautiful, harmonious tune. And that tune is the soundtrack of our relationships. And this is the bottom line, according to our source. Empathy is the foundation. Without it, a relationship is just an empty interaction. It's that deep affection that truly connects us and makes our relationships meaningful. So, this brings us full circle, right back to the author's concern for today's younger generation and this world that they are growing up in. I mean, just look at the contrast. Moin's story was all about an empty rice pot. Today, the source points out, we have this overwhelming abundance. Computers, clothes, food delivered right to our door. We get pretty much anything we want, a lot of times before we even realize we want it. And that throws us right back to that critical question. When our plates are always full, are we missing out on a different kind of nourishment? The kind that only comes from an act of true sacrifice, like the one Moin's mother made? But, the source doesn't just leave us with this worry. It actually offers a really clear path forward, a way for us to consciously build the empathy that we might be at risk of losing. And here's that path. The source lays it out in a super simple 4-step process. And notice what's so important here. It's a chain reaction, and it doesn't start with what you do.
It starts with what you think. By choosing to think positively about other people, you open the door for compassion. That compassion then naturally leads to kinder actions, and those actions are what build real, lasting relationships.
Yeah, our source really hammers this point home. The journey to connection starts inside your own head. I mean, think about it. It's almost impossible to feel compassion for someone you're having negative thoughts about, right? So the very first step is to just consciously choose to see the good in people.
And this quote just nails it. Our actions on the outside are a direct reflection of what's going on inside. True kindness isn't some behavior you can just fake. It's what naturally flows out of a compassionate heart.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Moine's mother went hungry so that he could eat. Her act wasn't really about the rice. It was about love. So in our world, where getting food is so easy for so many of us, Moine's story makes us ask ourselves a much deeper question. What are we truly hungry for?